Just randomly saw this, and I'm walking around. I don't know why.
I've been asked a ton of times how I came up with my name, and I'm not surprised because the Sea Rabbit does seem really random and doesn't seem to have anything to do with my channel. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is completely random and it doesn't have anything to do with my channel. I sort of explained it in my Q&A video earlier, but I didn't give a full explanation, which is why I'm going to make a video on it. And I'll explain a little bit of my background too, because it's sort of relevant. So, this is gonna be a full explanation, and I'm going to learn y'all a thing, because the full explanation involves a bit of history. So, get your learning caps on, freaking nerds. It all started sometime in the year 2014. I think I was a junior in high school. Looking back, it wasn't the best platform to start making comics on, but I actually started out on an app called iFunny. So, before I decided to make comics or anything, I was just a regular dude with an iFunny account. I would post the occasional meme, but that's about it. One cow or something. Don't ask me why. That it is completely random, and I'll explain a little. I think I was a junior in high school. Looking back, it wasn't the best platform to start making comics on, but I actually started out on an app called...
I'm wiping off my screen.
iFunny. So, before I decided to make comics or anything, I was just a regular dude with an iFunny account. I would post the occasional meme, but that's about it. One day, for who knows what reason, I was just Googling pictures of animal combinations. Things like a kangarooster or a cat-cow or something. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. I eventually decided to look up sea rabbit because I thought it would be funny to see an aquatic bunny. Turns out, a guy by the name of Takeshi Yamada has made actual realistic versions of sea rabbits. This guy does something called rogue taxidermy, which is basically when you make taxidermy of fake, non-real animals, usually by incorporating real animals in it some way. I did a bit of research on him, and he's made some crazy weird stuff. This includes a sort of dog spider, which is completely terrifying. He also makes alien skulls, animals with two heads, dragons, creepy mermaids, these flying rat things that I think were in The Wizard of Oz. You name it. Anyways, he's done a bunch of cool stuff and even was part of this taxidermy competition show called Immortal.
Okay, he made a cataphant. It's a cat with an elephant trunk. Or he made a catabath.
Things that I think were in The Wizard of Oz. You name it. Anyways, he's done a bunch of cool stuff and even was part of this taxidermy competition show called Immortalized. But I think that the sea rabbit he made is his favorite because he actually carries it around with him like a pet, and he named it Sira. It's kinda cute, but also slightly unsettling because it's probably partially made of dead rabbit. But hey, I totally love a sea rabbit as a pet, so I don't really blame him. So basically, I thought that a sea rabbit was a cool concept, so I changed my iFunny username to the Sea Rabbit. A little bit of time passed, and I decided to make a comic. Now, I didn't just randomly decide to draw a comic out of the blue. I had some previous experience with comics, aside from just reading a ton of them. For example, when I was in grade school, my friends and I made these little folded pieces of paper, then cut and stapled them to make pages. Then we'd write and draw these really short and completely random stories on them, and made them into a series simply called The Book. One of them that I made went like this. Mary had a little lamb, whose fleece was blood red. It followed her to school one day, then died. The end. And that was it. It was all just for our own amusement. I also made a whole comic story in about 6th or 7th grade with my brother. We called it the TA Brothers. TA just stood for our names, which are Thomas and Alex, so if you didn't use the abbreviation, then the title was the Thomas Alex brothers, which sounds pretty stupid, but whatever. We basically just made a story of ourselves with superpowers. No great drawings or anything, just stick figures, but we thought it was funny. Actually, I need to drop some wisdom on all you speculative comic makers out there. If you've never made a comic before, but you want to start, you don't have to immediately put it on the internet for the whole world to see. You might be glad that you didn't at some point in the future. It might save you the pain of having to look back on your first terrible comic that you regrettably put on the internet and just dying a little on the inside because of how many people have seen it. Moving on, I decided to post a comic on iFunny. I didn't have any means of making digital art, so I just used good old pen and paper like some sort of filthy caveman, and then took a picture of it. The few people that saw it seemed to like it, so I made another, and they just sort of caught on from there. Later that year for Christmas, I got my first drawing tablet, and with my new technological advancement, I decided to dedicate my iFunny account to comics, and renamed myself the Sea Rabbit Comics. Then I expanded to Tumblr, which would have been a better place to start posting, but whatever. Grew a little bit on there and sort of kept up the comic making for a while. And like most YouTube animators, I was introduced to Domics at some point. I didn't really consider making videos till I saw The Odd Ones Out take off, and I just thought, but what if me? So yeah, I started posting videos, and here we are today. I just decided to keep the name The Sea Rabbit with me the whole time. I guess it's just sort of a mascot that doesn't have anything to do with what I make. And on a slightly unrelated but also kind of related note, I found the best Facebook page ever the other day. It's sort of a charity page working to help an extremely important issue in our world today. And no, this video isn't sponsored. I just want to raise awareness out of the goodness of my heart. This Facebook page is called Save the Sea Rabbit. And no, I swear to God I didn't make it. All it has on it are 4 photos, but one of them is a masterpiece. It's an extremely well-written and touching poem that sends a message as to this organization's cause. The poem might actually be considered an epic, because it tells a story, like Beowulf, but better. It's called Percy Jackson Saves the Sea Rabbits by Jackson Percy. The son of the sea god went out for a walk when he encountered a sea rabbit that can talk. It told him the stories of the seas he had braved, and told the young man that they need to be saved. The young Olympian bolted into action. Joy was the lonely sea rabbit's reaction. "How can I help?" said Percy. "Tell the people of your world to have mercy." The moral of this story is pretty deep. Now listen up. I don't want to hear a peep. Humans of Earth, have mercy, dagnabbit. Have some consideration for the poor sea rabbit. And then it has this picture that says, "Save the Sea Rabbit," at the end. Now, if that isn't the most beautiful, heart-wrenching thing you've ever heard, I haven't cried for years, and that brought a tear to my eye. So, I'm going to link this page in the description so you all can go check it.
Okay. What the beep? I don't say bad words, though. I just say beep, because I'm too young to. So, bye everyone. Have a great day.